millions of travelers are disappearing across Asia. Beaches that once overflowed with life now sit eerily quiet. Hotels, resorts, even entire city blocks are half deserted, and the shock runs deeper. Economies built entirely on visitor spending are starting to crumble. Why is Asia's tourism powerhouse unraveling in 2025? Some analysts cite visa restrictions and travel warnings. Others point to political unrest, aging infrastructure, and climate disasters sweeping the region. The data is stark. Indonesia's revenue has plunged 40% year over year. Vietnam has lost over a third of its visitors. Nepal's trekking bookings are down by more than half. These aren't minor setbacks, they're alarms for economies that rely on tourism to survive. Officials across Asia claim the downturn is temporary. They tout fresh marketing pushes, streamlined visas, and recovery funds. But international experts argue the opposite. Safety concerns, unstable politics, and environmental threats are reshaping where travelers go. And there's a new accelerant: social media. Viral clips of empty markets, chaotic airports, and risky tourist zones spread at lightning speed. A single post can erase millions in bookings overnight. Stay with me as we count down the 7 Asian destinations closest to collapse, and wait until you see number 1. Cambodia's world-famous temples, once a magnet for millions, are emptying faster than anyone imagined. Number 7. Indonesia. Indonesia is burning, and tourism is collapsing alongside it. Once the jewel of Southeast Asia, the nation now teeters on turmoil. Tourism revenue has fallen nearly 40% in a single year. Bali's hotels are half vacant, souvenir stalls are shuttered, and unrest is spreading. In Jakarta, tens of thousands protest corruption, new labor laws, and soaring prices. Images of fires, clashes, and tear gas dominate feeds worldwide, a glaring warning for travelers. Who wants to vacation amid riots? Authorities promise stability, bold ad campaigns, and visas for remote workers. Critics aren't convinced. Travel advisories from the US, Europe, and Australia, combined with raw footage of street violence, are eroding Indonesia's brand faster than any recovery plan can repair. Even digital nomads, once a fallback for the economy, are leaving. Complaints about poor internet, rigid visa rules, and political volatility push them towards safer hubs like Vietnam or Malaysia. When both tourists and long-term guests flee, the crisis is undeniable. Can Indonesia restore calm before losing its status as Asia's tourism titan, or are the riots a sign of deeper decay? Number 6. Vietnam. Vietnam, once Southeast Asia's rising tourism star, is plunging fast. Just a year ago it was celebrated as the post-pandemic success story. But by mid-2025, international arrivals dropped 37%, millions of visitors lost in just 18 months. Lantern-lit alleys in Hoi and Air dark, Ha Long Bay's boats sit idle, and Hanoi's buzzing markets are turning into ghost streets. The decline is homegrown. Weak infrastructure, overcrowded sites, and aggressive street sellers have tarnished its charm. Policy confusion makes matters worse. One ministry chases record arrivals while another tightens visas and hikes taxes. That uncertainty scares off European and North American operators. The government insists the slump is temporary, promoting discounts and new campaigns. But locals say trust is the real casualty. Viral clips of scams, packed attractions, and chaos linger in travelers' minds. Influencers now steer followers to other countries. Airlines are even trimming routes to Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City. Luxury resorts slash rates by 70% just to fill rooms. Vendors, taxi drivers, and guides watch their income vanish. Many abandon the trade altogether. Can Vietnam rebuild credibility before the damage sticks? Or has its tourism miracle already slipped away? Number 5. Nepal, gateway to the Himalayas and Mount Everest, is losing its tourism heartbeat. Trekking bookings in 2025 have crashed over 55%. Guest houses along the Annapurna Trail are shuttered. Veteran guides now seek work abroad. Tourism supports more than 1 million jobs. This is a national crisis. The culprit? Fierce climate swings. Erratic snow, flash floods, landslides. Earthquake scars remain vivid for would-be trekkers. Add regional tensions, visa hurdles, and economic worries, and adventurers cross Nepal off their list. Authorities roll out heritage tours, wellness retreats, and spiritual escapes, yet critics say efforts fall flat. Outdated airports, thin marketing budgets, and fragile infrastructure weaken Nepal's edge against rivals like Bhutan and India. Mountain villages that once thrived on hikers now fight for survival. Shops are boarded, families pull children from school, and migration to crowded cities grows. The fallout is social as much as economic. Experts warn that without modern airports, robust safety measures, and climate-resilient trails, Nepal could lose its standing as the world's adventure capital. Can a small nation with limited means reverse the slide? Number 4. Pakistan's dream of becoming tourism's next frontier is faltering. International bookings in 2025 sank 65%. Hunza and Skardu hotels sit over 80% vacant. Bazaars once alive with foreign shoppers lie silent. Political turbulence, street protests, and travel warnings dominate headlines, overshadowing the mountain peaks and cultural festivals that once lured visitors. Perception, not reality, is dictating choices. The government launched See Pakistan tours and tax breaks for operators, insisting safety is improving. Skeptics point to airlines cutting flights to Islamabad and Lahore. Subsidies don't help if tourists never board. Losses already exceed $1.1 billion, hitting shopkeepers, drivers, and restaurateurs hardest. Many shutter businesses or pivot away from tourism altogether. Can Pakistan restore confidence before the sector disintegrates, or will unrest erase decades of progress? Number 3. Sri Lanka was meant to rebound, instead, it's sinking deeper. Between January and July 2025, arrivals dropped 42%, wiping out hopes of reviving a billion-dollar sector. Resorts in Bentota slash prices, guides in Sigiriya scrape for bookings, and Gales beaches are quieter than in decades. On paper, Sri Lanka offered visa-free entry to 40 nations, slick campaigns, and safety pledges. On the ground, protests, outages, shaky infrastructure. Even Emirates and Singapore Airlines trimmed flights amid soft demand. Authorities tout discounts and roadshows, yet critics argue no perk can offset shaky stability. Tourism once generated 12% of GDP, now it's under 7%. Families who built livelihoods on visitors cut meals, pull kids from school, or emigrate. Unless the island swiftly rebuilds its reputation, tourism's collapse may intensify broader economic woes. Number 2. India, one of the world's tourism giants, faces its steepest plunge in decades. By mid-2025, arrivals nosedived, risking $18 billion in annual losses. Jaipur and Varanasi hotels hover at 35% occupancy, a 20-year low. Festivals shrink or cancel, and street sellers lose their lifeline. A triple blow fuels the slide: unrest in Kashmir, flooding in Uttarakhand, and record heatwaves in the south. Each headline erodes India's image as secure and inviting. Travel advisories ripple online, nudging tourists elsewhere. Authorities pour funds into campaigns highlighting palaces, yoga retreats, and cultural fairs, but damage lingers. Viral clips of protests, disasters, and jammed airports dwarf glossy ads. Even domestic tourism, India's hidden safety net, is shrinking as fuel and food prices climb. Regional economies reliant on both foreign and local visitors feel the squeeze. Can India steady its reputation before lasting harm sets in? Number 1. Cambodia. Cambodia's crash is the most stunning. Once poised to dominate Southeast Asia's travel scene, its industry is collapsing in plain sight. By mid-2025, arrivals plunged over 60% year-on-year. Angkor Wat's sunrise crowds have thinned to handfuls. Siem Reap's markets fade to silence as flights to Phnom Penh and Siem Reap quietly disappear. Behind the numbers lies broken trust. Protests shake confidence in leadership. Corruption claims and heavy crackdowns unsettle citizens and investors. Reports of scams and street crime aimed at foreigners swirl across social media. Where travelers once felt welcomed, they now fear harassment or theft. Bookings evaporate the moment safety becomes uncertain. Authorities slash visa fees and unveil new campaigns, but critics say surface fixes can't mend trust. Tourism powered nearly 20% of GDP. Its collapse is pushing whole communities near Angkor into distress. Families sell land or withdraw children from school. For them, this isn't just a slowdown, it's the end of a way of life. Can Cambodia restore order and faith, or has the crash already rewritten its destiny? Tourism rarely falls overnight. It erodes when politics grow unstable, when safety fades, and when governments lose public trust. Rebuilding that trust is far harder than filling hotel rooms or tweaking visa fees. For travelers, this is a cautionary tale. Choosing where to go isn't only about cheap tickets or postcard views, it's about safety, stability, and governance. Unless these nations repair order and credibility, tourism's decline could reshape their economies for decades. Now I'd like to hear from you. Would you still plan an Asian trip in 2025, or has this crisis changed your mind? Share your thoughts in the comments. If this deep dive opened your eyes, hit like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss more stories the mainstream ignores. Your support keeps this work alive.